Hey, Stonebridge family, just wanted to connect with you for a little bit. Many of you may remember that when the church first started, I did a weekly midweek motivator, and it was just kind of a little word of encouragement for the week. And just thought, since we've got a lot of time on our hands, and many of us are kind of locked up in our homes, that I'd be putting out some videos of just kind of a word of encouragement. And so today I would like to talk to you a little bit about the word courage. The word courage. Ernest Hemingway was once asked his definition of courage, and this is what he said. He said, "Courage is grace under pressure." Grace under pressure. In fact, John F. Kennedy loved that definition so much that in his first chapter of his book, Profiles in Courage, he gave that definition of Ernest Hemingway. And in the first chapter, he talked about many senators that he knew that basically under pressure showed grace, that they made some very tough decisions that they could have lost their career or lost popularity. But John F. Kennedy liked that definition, grace under pressure. Throughout history, there have been people who have shown tremendous courage. For example, Witold Pilecki was a Polish soldier who in 1940 volunteered to join a German roundup just so that basically he could report what was going on in the new concentration camp of Auschwitz. And then there's Jeremiah Denton, who is an American prisoner of war of Vietnam, who signaled the abuse of POWs who was suffering by simply blinking in a propaganda video the message torture in Morse code. And then who could forget somebody like Harriet Tubman, who escaped slavery via the Underground Railroad and then risked her own life by returning to the South and making 19 trips, and she saved over 300 people who were enslaved. Talk about people who showed tremendous courage. One scripture that comes to mind is the story of Samuel. Samuel was a prophet in the Old Testament, and he anointed the first king of Israel because the people demanded to have a king. Samuel warned the people, if you have a king, you're not going to like it. He's going to tax you. He's going to take your children for his armies. But yet they wanted to be like the other nations, and they said, "We want a king." And so Samuel anointed the first king, who was King Saul. And at first King Saul was great, but after a while, pride crept into his heart and he made some very bad mistakes. And so God says, "I want you to go and I want you to anoint a new king." Now talk about courage, for Samuel to go against the current king and to anoint a new king, but yet he showed courage even under pressure. And so he went to the house of Jesse, a small town of Bethlehem, and God told him to anoint a young boy by the name of David, because David was going to be the new king of Israel. Samuel's a great example of somebody who showed grace under pressure. You see, sometimes when we think of grace, we think of this word, that grace is unmerited, undeserved favor, and that is true. But a couple weeks ago, we said this in church, that grace also means ability. So this is what it means. God gives you the ability to have the courage under pressure. God is going to give you the ability to do whatever pressures that you're facing. And I just think this is really relevant for us for today. Right now we're facing all sorts of pressures. And maybe even today you've felt that pressure. Maybe your pressure is, what's going to happen in your job, or maybe your pressure right now is you're cooped up in your home, and maybe for some of you parents, that your kids are now going to be home for 4 weeks, and it's that pressure of, what are we going to do with our kids during this time? And I just want to share this with you today, that God is going to give you the ability. He's going to give you the grace that you need each and every day. He's going to give you that ability to face whatever pressure that you're facing each and every day, and He's going to give you the courage to face it. And so I just want to encourage you with that word today. God is going to give you the grace that you need for today. And so rely on that today. We'll just focus one day at a time. Let's not think about 4 weeks down the road. Let's just think about today, and then when tomorrow comes, we'll think about tomorrow, because God will give you just what you need for that day. He will give you the grace under pressure. That's the courage that all of us need in this day and age. Hey, just want to let you know we just put up the YouTube link, so please subscribe to that. And we're going to have our service online on Sunday, so make sure you watch service online. And excited. Lots of things happening at Stonebridge. God bless. We love you, and we'll see you soon.